Thank you for coming.
It's good to see you, Mrs. Duke. You know my wife, Muriel?
Hi, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Thank you. Congratulations. You have made this such a lovely place.
This is Mrs. Stinson, my partner.
How do you do?
And you know Monroe Ficus.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Duck. Gosh, you'd never know this used to be a pet shop.
That's a business here by advertising in your paper. Sit down, please.
Oh, thank you. Well, Mr. Duck, what do you recommend?
You leave it up to me. I'll serve you a special Vietnamese dinner.
Oh, it sounds good to me.
Sounds great. Hey, there's fish in there.
No, there are birds in there.
I wonder how they keep them alive. You know, when I was a kid, my fish always died.
They didn't die, Monroe. They committed suicide.
I don't recognize a single thing on this menu.
Oh, gosh, all this stuff sounds so exotic. Listen to this. Bun chop.
I hope that's a hamburger.
No, it says it's, wait a minute, charbroiled pork, served with rice vermicelli noodles, fish sauce, and mint on lettuce leaves.
Oh, that sounds good. I think I'll have the tuna salad.
You start with soup. It's bún sao vịt.
Un salvit. What is that?
Chicken soup. Vietnamese panisserie. Good for you. Enjoy.
What did Mr. Duck call this?
Bun salvit,
What is it in English?
number 11.
You know, Monroe, you deserve a lot of credit. After all, you're the one who sold this account. You know, and since you've been on the Bugler, you've picked up a lot of new advertising.
I am very pleased. You keep this up, Monroe, you'll really go places.
Oh, that is my prayer.
Good for you, Monroe.
Don't encourage him.
Well, thank you. You know, as long as I did get this account, I was hoping you'd make me restaurant critic for the Bugler. I could start by writing a review of this place. It could say something like, on first impression, the Bun Salvit is a subtle mixture of color and texture, not unlike that of a delicate oriental tapestry.
Oh.
Its exotic aroma is wafted on a cloud of steam to gently caress the nostrils. And upon first taste... Oh, boy!
You like soup?
Oh, it's just
Oh,
wonderful.
delicious, it's delicious.
Terrific!
Too much spicy.
Oh, this looks wonderful.
Still nothing familiar.
This bánh bèo, and this cua rang muối, and chả giò.
Why does knowing not make me feel any better?
Mr. Duck, did you have a restaurant in Vietnam?
Oh, yes, many years ago in Saigon.
What brought you to Marin County?
From Vietnam, I go by boat with boat people, and my boat sink. I got rescued, and I go to San Francisco and work and save money to bring my wife and kids.
Well, you're a brave man, Mr. Duck. You've been through a lot.
Say, wouldn't this make a great human interest story for the Bugler?
Can I write it? I'll combine it with my restaurant review.
A human interest story has to be written by someone human. I'll write it.
And I'll take pictures of you and your family, Mr. Duck, if that's all right.
Oh, that's good for business. Thank you.
Oh, boy, this'll make a great story because it talks about the never say die spirit in people. You know, so many of us tend to look at the negative side of things. Well, take this bowl of soup, for instance. Some people would look at that and say that it's half empty, but I say that it's half full. And those fish, some people would say it's terrible for those fish to be stuck in that aquarium, but it's better than being stuck in the soup.
Please. Muriel, you didn't say anything about the story I wrote about Mr. and Mrs. Duke.
Well, you didn't say anything about the pictures I took to go with the story.
Oh, they were terrific.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And?
Oh, gosh, what am I thinking? And I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And?
Oh, gosh, and I've got to go pick up Andrew. See you at home.
Monroe, did you read the story on the Dukes that I wrote?
I sure did.
And?
What did you think about my restaurant review?
It was fine.
Thank you.
And?
And we need some more petty cash.
But I gave you $50 yesterday. It can't be gone.
Well, I knew you'd say that. That's why I saved all the receipts.
What could you have done in one day to spend $50?
Well, I have a lot of things to take care of. I carry quite a load on my shoulders.
That load is your head. All right, tell me about the 50.
Okay. You wanted me to go to San Francisco to pick up the new stationery, right?
I gave you a check for that.
But the toll on the Golden Gate Bridge was $2.
Fine. So far, you've accounted for $2. Where's the rest of it?
Okay. When I got to San Francisco, I remembered that I'd forgot the address, so I had to come back and get it.
Why didn't you call?
Okay. I didn't have any change.
Then why didn't you get some change?
Well, I did get some from the toll taker on the bridge, but then he charged me another $2. So that's $4 and 20 cents for the phone call. See, it's all documented.
You're still missing $45.80.
Okay. I was running a little late, and I got a $45 speeding ticket.
Okay. Okay, where's the stationery? Get up.
Can I borrow a couple of bucks for the bridge?
Excuse me. I'd like to speak to Mrs. Stinson.
Well, Mrs. Stinson isn't here right now, but I'm the new editor, Henry Rush.
Oh, yes. I read your story about that Vietnamese restaurant.
And?
I'm Daniel Gavin. I own the Bayview restaurant, and I'd like you to print this in your letters to the editor column.
Oh, I'd be glad to, Mr. Gavin.
Thank you.
Excuse me? Mr. Gavin, I can't print this.
Why not?
Well, it's a hate letter.
You asked me what I thought of your article, and I hated it. I'm tired of going into stores and restaurants and finding them run by foreigners.
Mr. and Mrs. Duke are fine people, and they opened a fine restaurant. What's the matter, Mr. Gavin? Afraid of a little competition for your own restaurant?
That has absolutely nothing to do with it. What I am concerned about is that soon there'll be 6 Vietnamese restaurants, and a Vietnamese laundry, and a Vietnamese cultural center, and before long they'll just take over.
You know what, Mr. Gavin? You're a bigot.
I am not a bigot. All I know is that this is a nice little town we've got here, and I would like to keep it that way.
I don't understand something, Mr. Gavin. Just exactly what do you have against Mr. and Mrs. Duke?
Nothing. I've never even met them.
Then I'm not going to print your letter because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Daniel, how's the family?
Fine, Mrs. Stinson. But I'm afraid things aren't so good here at the Bugler.
What do you mean?
Your new editor refuses to print my letter.
Oh, I'm sure there must be some misunderstanding.
There's no misunderstanding, Mrs. Stinson.
Run it.
Thank you. And I am not a bigot.
You can't be serious.
I certainly am. Henry, a newspaper has the responsibility to print opposing points of view, even if we disagree with them.
You're telling me we have to print this letter? We have no choice?
Freedom of the press, Henry. It works both ways.
Well, is there anything to prevent me from writing a rebuttal to this letter?
Not a thing. You're the editor. Go to it.
You bet I will. That dirty...
Henry, this is a family paper. Watch your language.
Good morning.
Oh, bravo!
Way to go, Steve!
Well, what's this for? What's this all about?
Well, honey, your editorial about that stupid letter was wonderful.
Well, I want people to know exactly how we stand.
Oh, honey, I almost cried.
I did.
You would.
Henry, I am so proud of you. Oh.
Oh.
I know we have a happy ship, but this is not the Love Boat. We have next week's edition to get ready.
I was just congratulating Henry on his wonderful editorial. Did you read it?
Of course I did. And if you answer every negative letter, you'll never have time for anything else.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Duke, how nice to see you. What brings you here?
My wife and I want to thank you for the editorial. Very brave, very courageous.
I hope what you write not make trouble for you.
Trouble? Who's going to make trouble?
Always somebody. Not everybody like newcomers.
Well, don't you worry. You've got the power of the press behind you. Nobody's going to make any trouble. Well, there's no one outside.
Whoever did it just threw it and ran.
Well, I can't believe it. In all the years I've been here, nothing like this has ever happened.
You see, I do make trouble for you. It's my fault.
Oh, Mr. Duke, you can't believe that someone threw that brick because of my editorial.
It could have been meant for me, Mr. Duke. I have a lot of enemies.
But they're all in this room.
Anh à, em biết tốt không hết mình trả tiền kiến cho họ mình đi về anh.
My wife and I want to pay for window.
Nonsense. We have insurance.
We have to do something.
Oh, please, don't feel bad. It isn't your fault.
And I, for one, Mr. Duke, am not sorry that Mr. Rush wrote that editorial. And you must not assume any responsibility for what has happened.
We feel bad because we know that somebody here don't want us.
Oh, don't let what one jerk did frighten you.
Problem is, one jerk always attract other jerks.
Em ở đây em sợ thì cách tốt hết mình đi về anh dọn tỉnh khác ở. Em không muốn ở đây.
My wife says she's frightened. She thinks we make mistake coming here.
Oh, Henry.
You know, I've got a pretty good idea who threw that brick.
Daniel Gavin? Oh, I've known his family for years, Henry. He'd never do a thing like that.
I'd bet on it. He wrote that letter, and he threw this little P.S. through our window.
But why throw it through our office window? Why wouldn't he throw it through the restaurant window? No, I think it was someone who was objecting to your editorial. Come on, Muriel, let's get some work done.
Boy, working here is a lot more dangerous than being a security guard.
Well, get a broom, Monroe. Let's clean up this latest letter to the editor.
I'd be honored to, Mr. Rush, because you have a lot of guts.
Thank you, Monroe.
I'm proud of you.
Well, get the broom, and we'll clean up the mess.
You inspire courage in all of us. But after we clean this mess up, do you mind if I move my desk in the other room?
Be careful, Monroe. The putty is still fresh.
Good as new.
Don't do that. You want to break it again?
Sorry, Mr. Rush. You know, I've been thinking about who threw that brick. And I've got a pretty good idea who did it. And it wasn't Mr. Gavin.
No? Okay, Sherlock, who did it?
Well, we know it was a left-handed person.
How?
Because of the angle it came through the window. We also know that person was short. Because he threw it and we didn't see him do it. He was also fast because he did it and got away before we got outside.
Got that all figured out, have you?
Mm-hmm. So you see, Mr. Rush, it's very, very simple. We're looking for a short, fast left-hander who goes by the name of Shorty, Speedy, or Lefty.
Why don't you go find him, Monroe?
And lives in a brick building.
Just get the broom and clean up the rest of that mess.
Okay, Chief. I'm telling you, that's your man, okay? Or it could have been a woman.
Or it could have been an idiot. Get out.
Boy, they don't make windows like they used to.
Get out.
I think I'll take an early lunch.
You idiot!
Hello.
Well, look who's here.
I heard about what happened. I'm sorry. I want to be sure you understand. I had nothing to do with this.
Well, maybe you didn't throw the brick, but you incited someone else to do it, so what's the difference?
I never intended it to go this far. My only concern was for the community. What's wrong with that?
If this community can't accommodate a nice family like the Dukes, then we're in trouble.
Look, Rush, every guy that comes into this country trying to make a new start has to dig in and fight for it. Yeah. My family did when they came here.
Oh? Wait a minute. Your family came from someplace else?
That's right, and they worked damned hard to make it.
Then what makes you such a privileged character? Just because your family beat the Dukes over here means you can shut the door to everybody else? Is that it?
Look, I'm going to try to tell you one more time. I'm sorry that my letter caused so many problems for you, and I'm sorry about your window.
Excuse me, Mr. Rush?
Just a minute, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Duke, have you met Mr. Gavin?
No. Nice to meet you.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
Can I speak to you a moment, Rush?
Yes, of course. What is it?
Tell you why I come, Mr. Rush. I want to put ad in the paper to sell restaurant.
What?
Yes, we make decision. Mrs. and me, we want to move other place to start over.
Oh, no, Mr. Duck. Don't do that.
We don't want to stay where we are not welcome. You run this ad in next paper.
No, I don't want to do that.
You have to. I'm paying customer. In this country, customers always right. Goodbye, Mr. Rush. Goodbye, Mr. Gavin. That letter you write was not very nice.
Oh, Henry, do you think there's a chance we can talk the Dukes out of leaving?
I don't know. Least we can do is try.
Well, all we can give them is some reassurance, that's all.
Well, look, honey, there's Monroe.
Yes, with all his friends. Pretend you don't see him.
Oh, Henry, that's ridiculous. Monroe, hi. What are you having? My usual.
Mr. and Mrs. Rush, Mrs. Stinson.
Hi.
So glad to see you.
It's nice to see you,
Sit
too.
down.
Thank you.
We'll make you a wonderful farewell dinner.
Mr. Duck, we came here tonight to try to talk you out of leaving.
Oh, yes, please. We don't want to lose you. Won't you reconsider?
Please, we'll support you always.
I was just getting used to the spicy.
Come on, Mr. Duck. Where's the old gung-ho, the old spirit, the old fight?
We'll leave old fight. We come here, we find new fight. Now we look for a place with no fight.
We just have to find a place where they like us.
But if you leave, some people will think you were chased away.
They'll think they can always get rid of people they don't like.
You find people. When you find a place with a lot of people like you, that's where we stay. Sit down.
Mr. Duke. I'm afraid I don't have a reservation. Do you have a table?
I'll try to fit you in.
Thank you. I hear the food is very good here.
Mr. Gavin, would you care to join us? We'd be glad to have you.
Thank you. You know, Mr. Duke, I'm in the restaurant business, too. My grandfather started the place, the Bay View. Perhaps you'll come there for dinner sometime soon.
Thank you.
You know, it took my grandfather quite a while to get settled into this community. I think if you give it a little time, you'll find we're very friendly here.
That is good. You are in the restaurant business. Want to see the kitchen?
I'd love to.
Now, Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Henry, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I think you had something to do with it.
Oh, you don't have to say.
Now, Henry, you know I'm not one to hand out compliments.
Well, you don't have to.
But this is the best soup I've ever tasted.
Well, gosh, I guess they won't be selling this place after all. I'll just take the for sale sign out of the window.
Monroe, you don't have to do that. Monroe, leave it alone.
I can get it right here. I'm all right.
You know, Henry, I never thought I'd like food with all those exotic spices, but I think that restaurant's going to be really popular.
It is going to be a big success, Muriel, and you know why?
Why?
I read an article that said that all the food from that part of the world and all the spices is an aphrodisiac.
Really?
Really?
That's funny. It gave me a headache.
Muriel, please.
Marsha Bramwin, Jay Scott, Bill Smith, and Rick Monday. The Home Team, your local choice for late news, the 11 o'clock news, weeknight.